Thank you to those who are joining. My name is Sean. I'm the host of the Getting Out of Debt show, where we share real stories from real people who have or are in the process of getting out of debt. Personally, for me, I find that a lot of the media is focused on people in financial chaos rather than those actually doing something about it. And I'm super excited today because I have a guest on the show, Kjersty from Living on Less. Kjersty, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So excited to be here, chat, give some people some hope. I
No,
definitely feel like I'm like the beginner. Like I started from knowing nothing. So I just feel like if I can do it, literally anyone could do it.
that's how I feel. I'm
Yeah.
really not that smart. I was way below average on the SATs. So
Yeah.
if anyone can do this stuff. It's not hard. It's just like the discipline of it is and
Yes.
knowing actually like a process to follow.
Yeah, for sure. And feeling hope that like it's possible. That was kind of
Exactly.
part of my uh, challenge with like getting out of debt was I just like didn't think it was possible. Like I was like, oh, I'll just need a big lump sum of money to get out of debt.
And when you go to most friends and family, I always got hit with, well, it's normal to be in debt, or yeah, me and your mom, we're never getting out of debt. You're just not smart. You'll never pay it
Yes.
off. I heard that all the time.
Right. Yes, that's so true. Like it's just how life is. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
Right? Just make your minimum payments and just that's it. So tell us a little bit
Yes.
about your story. Like, how did you get into debt? How did this all start?
Yeah. So, my husband and I, we have always been pretty conservative with our money. Like we knew we didn't want to be big spenders, and so debt for us just kind of happened gradually. And it's kind of funny because like we knew debt was like not something we wanted, but at the same time, we also were like, well, to get a car, like you just have to get a loan
Got to
or
do it.
like
Right.
to go to school, like it just not even school, like we went undergrad with no debt. It was like grad school. It's like, oh, there's no way. Like
Hmm.
you just have to do that. And so for us, we really avoided debt. We didn't have a lot until grad school. And then my husband, and at that time too, my husband, we just were like, well, we have to get grad school debt. So it doesn't really matter the amount. Like we, there's definitely things we could have done different, but we went out of state and that is always going to be bigger. And we didn't ever have the thought like maybe we could wait a year and save some money. It was just like, let's
Right.
go,
That
go, go.
delays your career. Right. Yep.
Right. So yeah, we that was our first giant debt. And then car debt as well. We needed a car. We had beater cars for so long. And then one day we
Hmm.
just went to a dealership and were totally suckered in. Like my husband's
Nice.
like, I love this car. We took it for the weekend. We did the whole, and then yeah, we got a car payment and sure enough, it went down in value so fast. And so we felt really stuck with that. And then our other debt has been credit cards, and that happened from solely just like not being prepared for life. Cause like, hello, you're going to grad school. So what are we had two kids at the time going into grad school. So it's like,
Wow.
what's the
Wow.
plan here for money? And we did pretty good. He had some internships that did pay him, and I would like work at nighttime, but it was very minimal. So gradually it was just like a Walmart trip here, or if you need new tires, and it just kind of racked up. And and then on top of that, after all that, we're like, let's buy a house.
Nice. Yes, of course.
So there we were.
That is so similar to what happened to me is like same thing. I was like, was very frugal growing up, very like money minded. And then at 21, I looked up and I'm like, wait, I have $50,000 in debt. I'm like, what just happened? I was like, I didn't do
Yeah.
anything. I went to school and I
No.
bought a car, like and a Honda
Yes.
Civic of all things. I
Yeah.
was like,
Which is a
I
great
bought an
car.
Audi. Yeah, I love my Honda Civic. But it's like I feel like it never happens all at once. You just kind of look up one
Yeah.
day and you're like, oh, like that happen. And then for
Yes.
me, what made me sick is like I'm like, okay, well, how much interest is this a year? And it's like,
Mm,
okay, that's a lot of money going to
mm,
nothing.
yes. Absolutely. I think for us too, what made it worse is that we were um really scared of like money. Like money was a
Yeah.
really scary thing for us. I just like kind of grew up really like traditionally, and so my parents were kind of like, "Oh, you don't really need to know about money. Like husbands will take care of it."
Mhm.
And then my husband grew up and it was like a scarcity mindset, like and just scarcity, just didn't have a lot. And so money is really like just was scary to him. And so we had this dynamic happening of like, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna, and we would like try to budget, and then it would be like just a hard, it's like a marital, you got to sit down and get on the same page. And it would always just end kind of frustrating, and it wouldn't last. We couldn't stick to it. And so we kind of were in this really bad pattern of just avoiding it. And it's like, okay, there's enough money for now. So like we're good. And then it's like, oh no, don't spend. And so
Mhm.
sure enough, life happens. Like you, that has been my biggest motivator is like, life is going to happen. Like you're going to need new tires. You're going to
Mhm.
have the AC go out. Like it's going to happen. So at some point we have to like shift what we're doing.
Exactly. No, and same thing literally for me. It's growing up, money was like you don't talk about it in the house. It was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we don't talk about money. That's not something we talk about." And I feel like that set me back definitely a little bit because I didn't even know how loans work. I was like, I just know you need to get them to
Right.
go to school. I
Yeah.
literally had no idea about like interest rates or anything. And so that's like for my future family, we're always going to talk about money because it's so important to just
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
the basics of it. And
Right.
so you told me earlier that you went through that and then you started feeling you decided to do something about it because you were feeling stuck. What was
Yes.
that stuck? Like what was that moment?
Yeah, it really was truly a moment. Like um I was pregnant with baby number 4. We have 4 kids. And this has been several years. This was a couple years after grad school, and I get those notifications on your phone that's like 1 year ago, your Google Photos. And I always love to look at those. And I had one of those pop up that was of my kids, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that was a year ago?" Like that is crazy because it didn't feel that long ago.
Just went by
And
like
then
that.
yeah, I kind of like had this realization, and I'm like, this has been a whole year since this has happened. And like, what is happening in my life? Like, I don't think we have done anything different except that my kids have aged. I'm like, what is happening? Like we felt like we were doing something because we had bought a home, but I'm like, we still aren't like, we have these goals that we want for our life. And somehow I feel like I can't get there. Like, why am I not able to save more? Like, I want to be saving for our kids and their colleges, and I want to be investing more. There were so many things I wanted to do, and I just was like, why? I guess maybe I thought with time, like if
Yeah,
we
time
would
just
just
goes
get
by and
there.
it naturally just happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what, or I also think I had the mindset that like once we're making well over like $100,000 a year, then we can live the life we want.
Everything gets better
And
magically.
yeah, even though that's not even that much money nowadays with all the costs of everything, but like I just had this kind of moment and I was like, you know what? I think that we have to work with what we have. We have to work with what's happening instead of looking, oh, this will get better someday. Like I think it was just a moment of accountability, honestly. It's like, okay, let's look in the mirror. I am in charge of me and we can do this. And so that was kind of like a big shifting point where we're like, okay, we have the dream, but like, what's the game plan? Like, what are the steps to get there?
Yeah,
And that's kind of when we started.
and would you say that having kids probably like gave you the big like motivation to do it? Because I have a kid on the way, and I find myself like I'm like I gotta get everything together for him, not for me. It's like it's for
Yes.
him.
Yes, that is it is amplified 1,000% when you're like, especially when I think of my own childhood, I was the youngest of 6 kids, and I was like 10 years younger. Like my parents had me a little bit older, and so my like setup, I was so spoiled. Like I had a great growing up. Money was never something I worried about. And I had so many opportunities as a child and so many great memories. And so I just started feeling like I'm in charge of them now. Like what am I creating? What are we doing? And I think that really set me into panic. But luckily my husband's like a calm,
Yeah,
he's
calm
like, it's
control.
fine. It's fine. Like, we will figure it out. But he did kind of calm that because I was like panicking a little bit.
Yeah,
But it's
nope,
a good
same.
panic.
A good panic, and
Yeah.
that's how I found your reels. Is like yes, you were panicking, but I'm like, she's actually doing something about it. Like she's making real
Right.
progress. So tell me
Right.
about that. It's like, what? How did you make a plan to pay off debt? Because in your first year, which I think was 2025, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You paid off 17 grand. That's like no
Yep.
joke. That's a lot of money. So how did you do that?
Really, the biggest thing that I did since I was a beginner and I didn't know anything is I just started learning. So I just started hopping on to all the different kind of money podcasts, all the different perspectives that you're going to get from Dave Ramsey to like more, newer people that have different perspectives. And I just wanted to take it all in and just understand, because I think that was my biggest frustration was like, I don't know what to do. Like what do you I didn't learn money. I mean, maybe I had one class in high school like
Maybe.
that was
Yeah, we
about
always
being
have
an
that
adult.
one. Yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, it kind of just started there where I just started learning and realized that my first thing that I have to do is that I have to learn how to manage the money we have. Like it's not necessarily always more, more, more. It's like we have to figure out what's happening with the money that is coming in. And so I finally just found like a budgeting app that worked for me, and I had tried spreadsheets and things, and I think now it would be
Too
great. I
much.
think
Yeah. Hmm.
then it was a little overwhelming. And so I was kind of looking for like an app that would like bring in my expenses for me, and then I just like put where they go. So I found one that I really loved, and that was kind of a spark for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, like look how much money is going to groceries. Like we could definitely cut down on groceries. Like
Hmm.
it just opened my eyes. And then once I started feeling like, oh, if we just cut here, all of a sudden we have $500 extra a month. Like, oh, that's sweet. And so you kind of you like start feeling it. You get the momentum. And that is what started for us. We started feeling that. And then we realized after we've cut everything, like now we have to have a serious conversation about increasing income.
Right.
And
It's a big part of it.
like we've done what we can, now we have to talk about it. And at the time, my husband had his full-time job, and I had just started working part-time from home, and so that was working. And now that's when we're like, okay, I think maybe let's look at other options. So my husband got another part-time job on the weekends and started doing that. And then he also he's a therapist, he's a mental health therapist. So then he started his own private practice, and it's been a lot. And I started social media, and I'm doing side hustles, and I've been working with the Amazon influencer program. And anyway, so we really went for it. We were like, we're going to do it. And so that has kind of how we've been able intentionally use that extra income. Every month we know where we're going to pay at least $1,200 we're going to throw at debt. And then sure enough, with every month there was always more that we found, like just random things. We would get more on our paychecks or a random side thing, and we just rolled with it. And we paid off one credit card, we paid off our car, we paid off another credit card, and we just kept going. And we're very much still in it, but we're just still trying to keep up the momentum.
Momentum. Yep, that's the best part. So, what was the first you decided to knock out the credit cards first, right?
Yes. Yeah. We kind of set it up for that first year and like the snowball from like the smallest debt
To the
to the
yep,
biggest. And so our smallest one was like a $3,000 credit card, and we knocked
easy
it out in
peasy. Yep.
1 month. We did it. We were like, let's get it done. So that
That's
really got
awesome.
us fired up. We're like, yes, we got that one done. And then the car we were super motivated about because we were just like, we never want a car payment again. Like, get this thing
Yes,
done.
yes. Yep.
And I mean, we were doing, I like for last summer, I just donating plasma for a little while. Like, we were doing everything. I was like there with all the college kids, like doing what you got to do.
No shame. No shame.
No,
So
that's when I started my social media page because I'm like, I don't think I care anymore.
no, no. I'm at that age where I could care less about what I look like. People always say like, "Dude, you need new clothes," and I'm like, I could care less how I look. I probably should
Yes,
start caring a little bit though.
I
Um,
know. I feel that.
Now let me ask you this: at what point? Because it happened to me when I was paying off my debt. Did it go from like really scary to like I'll use the word fun? Like, did it ever get fun? Like to see
Yes.
like the progress? Like when did that happen?
Yes, that did for me. I don't know if my husband would agree. He's like, you're such a nerd. But for me, it totally did. I think our just, we first kind of like did a little bit of an emergency fund. And then when because 2 times a year, we'll get like a third paycheck. And
Right,
we've
right. In the
never,
months, it just works out that
yes,
way. Yep.
yeah. Like, and we've never capitalized on that before. And so that first month in January when we started, we were like, we're using that. This is our debt. We're going to use all of it. We're not going to do anything. And just seeing like that huge $3,000 payment gone right away, like that was just like, oh my gosh, it's zero. Like we did it. We
We
did
did
it.
it. We did it.
I
It can get
think,
done.
yes. I think that's why I kind of liked starting with the snowball a little bit because it like gave us that
You
quick
have to. You have to
momentum.
start. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just something. I think we even had like a $500 mattress or something too that we had financed. And I'm like, let's get rid of it. We got to.
Get
And
rid of
so,
it.
yeah, like just starting small and then seeing like, this is what I budgeted and then this is what I did. That was like, okay, this is cool. We're doing
That's
it.
awesome. That's awesome. So year one, you paid off 17,000.
Mhm.
What's next up on the plate for paying stuff
So
off?
yeah, this is where we are this year. So we have my husband's student loans. That is definitely our biggest debt. He also works in community mental health, and so he can get his loans forgiven in a couple years. And so we've kind of gone back and forth between like, do we just pay it off? Do we wait? And we kind of have done some math where we'll still pay less by having it forgiven in a couple years versus paying all of it now. So we kind of have put that on the side and we're working on
Love that.
we got a second mortgage that because we couldn't afford it, we didn't have a down payment. So we got a 20K second mortgage and that thing has been weighing over our heads. And so
It's
we're like, we
probably
got
a
to do
big
that.
payment, right? It's
Yeah,
probably
well,
big. Yeah.
they made it small. Like I think it's $150. Like it's not terrible, but like we want to move. Like we have 4 kids. We're in a pretty small house. So like that was kind of our more long term. Like I think if we get this paid off, get a little more equity, then long term we could look at a better, we
Upgrading.
can get into a
Yeah.
house sooner than later. So I think so that's what we're working on this year. And that has definitely been a shift and it has required it's really made us dig down and keep going because it's just one giant, it's just like $20,000.
That's it.
you know,
Yeah.
it's not like the little ones. And so we're definitely navigating and working on that this year with like still getting that momentum and like celebrate. Like we literally have to celebrate with our kids with we like get a little string that we those little paper things that you cut down and
Yeah.
like it's a bit like we did it 1 month we paid this like I feel like you have to like constantly try to keep up the momentum.
So let me ask you about this because I've seen it in your reels. It looks like there's been things that like stop the momentum, like big like life
Oh,
events. Life happens.
yes.
So like,
Yes.
how do you deal with those?
That is like literally the story of our lives right now. That is what we're in this year. This year has been a little bit tougher because we had to buy a new car, which was fine. We knew what that was coming. But then my daughter needed an unexpected surgery, and that's where life comes in, right?
Hmm.
And so that has kind of like we had to pause because we're like, we don't want to accrue more debt. Like we don't want to get more medical debt. So we had to pause and we've been focusing on that. And really, I think the best way that has kept me feeling motivated and to keep going is just like so much gratitude that we can do this. Because, like, a year or two ago, had a surgery popped up, that would have been like panic, like, oh my
Right on a
gosh, like, what are
credit
we going to
card. Yeah.
do?
Hmm.
Yeah. And so I've treated it like our debt, like, okay, this is how much we need to pay this all surgery up front. And now we just steer and get back on track. And it's a mind game. Like it's all in your mind of like, okay, we gotta keep chugging along. Gotta keep
Yep.
going.
And what I try to tell people too is like, I feel like when people like watch Dave Ramsey or other shows, it's like get out of debt as fast as possible. You got to do as fast as possible.
Right.
I feel like,
Right.
definitely I could see that for high interest debt, but like when
Right.
all you have left is the cars and student loans, like
Right.
it doesn't have to be as fast as possible. And like
Right.
you can save up money for like life events like you had.
Right. And it feels, I feel like, because we were trying to be so intense. And this year I've kind of had that shift where I'm like, if I pay this money every month, it will get paid off. Like it's going to happen.
Bingo.
So it's okay. And I think that's been good for me because I am a little more like high anxiety of like, oh, we're not, I set this goal and what if we don't make it? And I think the great thing about money is it's math and it's just like if you're gonna pay it
Bingo.
every month, like it's gonna happen. So I've definitely felt that relief a little bit this year. Like it's okay, like it's gonna happen. We're more prepared than we ever have been. So that's something.
So when is your debt? I would say like with the student loan forgiveness with your husband, it's like I'd consider that paid off. You just got to
I
make the
know.
payment,
We kind of
right?
have just like put that on the back burner because
I
the
would.
payments may go up, which is unfortunate because as get more income, your payment will go up. So but we even accounted into that and we're like, I think like we still would pay more, like more of our money would be going to pay off that student loan now versus if we just kind of wait a couple more years. So that's kind of where we came to that conclusion.
Yeah, I would wait on that one. So considering that one's paid off, when should you be debt free? Or like
Yeah, I mean, right
or
now,
when you yeah, debt free or when you hit your goal with like the
right,
second
right,
mortgage.
right. So that's funny. I just kind of did a reel about this, but our goal was paid off this year. We're gonna try for that. But even if we just did like right now, we can do like $1,200 a month. That's like our
So
extra,
much. That's a
which
lot.
is great.
Yeah.
It's great. But it's still in my mind. I'm like, "Oh, we got to do more, more, more."
Like, it
But
needs to be more.
but I'm getting it's good. But I know like there's certain months coming up. Like I did have a couple brand deals that'll be paid for, so I know we could reach it. But right now, if we do $1,200 a month, we'll have it paid off in like 16 months, which is next year. Like if someone had told me that like 2 years ago that we would be at that point, I would be shocked. Like no way, that's not
And
possible.
that's the shift because in the beginning when we were talking, you said a year went by and nothing happened. Now that
Right,
you budgeted and you know, hey, look, as long as I make this 1200 in 16 months, going to be exactly where I want to be. I think that's
right.
like the key for so many
Yes.
people. So here's another question. 16 months, that's going to be gone.
Hmm.
Now you're going to have all this money that you've been saved, like going towards debt.
Right.
What's
Right.
next? Is it investing or what do
Yeah.
you envision?
We definitely, I think for us, we want to build up we want a big emergency fund. We've got 4 kids. We've got a
Hmm.
high deductible. So I think like that would be like the most amazing feeling if I just like had a huge savings. That would be great. And then for sure next is we want to get move into a home. We're kind of in a townhome right now, and so yeah, we want to find something that we can be really proud of and what we've worked for. So I think we're just going to be on the savings train. We're just saving for everything now. It's hard
Yeah.
not
And
to feel like you're behind, and I try not to let myself think like that, but I do feel it a little bit.
if you look at the statistics, I always look at this. It is so like so easy to be ahead. I think like at 30 years old, the average net worth is $1,000. I think that's it, or like that's what people have to their name. So it's like it's easy to get caught up in that. Like, where how do I compare to others? But
Yes.
when I look at your
Yes.
story, 2025, 82 grand in debt, no plan. Sounds like 4 years from that, you're going to be probably have a nice emergency
Oh,
fund,
yes.
bad debt
Yeah.
taken care of. Like 4 years is not that long. Like
I
that's what I
know.
try to.
Yes.
That's the message I
That's
want to get to people.
yeah.
Is like this stuff doesn't take long to clean up.
No, because you think about it. Like, what were you doing 4 years ago? Like, that was not that long ago. And you're
Nope.
like, oh, what I could have done. Like, oh, this is so crazy. Like, I think that's where I got hope, is because you just do a simple calculation of like, if I pay this much, then it's paid off then immediately you feel hope. You're like, okay, I can do that. That's not too bad.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. So awesome story. Going through debt, would you say it's a very like lonely process? Like there's not a lot of people to like talk to about it, or
Yes,
how?
definitely. And I also feel like, and maybe this is my own thing, but I also feel it's like it's amplified a little bit being a woman, because I feel like sometimes like it's easier for guys. I don't know, maybe not. But I feels
No,
like
you're right.
it comes up maybe for more financial talk comes up um among men. And so sometimes I felt, because I would reach out to people at different women and different things, and I'd be like, I don't know, I don't even know my finances. And I'm like, well, that's not great. Like, that's not really the goal, is that like one person in the relationship handles it all. Like, it definitely should be a united thing. And especially for women, I think it's a really important thing that you are in the know, that things are never disclosed. You just never know. And so when one person is just handling the finances, I think that's a little more risky. So anyway, I definitely have felt like, who do I talk to about this? This is kind of weird. Like, to be like,
Exactly.
hey, do you have
I
debt?
yeah,
I have a
so,
little
like,
bit of debt.
do you have debt? Like, do you have crippling debt? Because I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found that too, and so what I found for me is I did find some supporters, but what I found is, like, actually when I got to the end stage, it turned into, like, "Well, good for you." Like, I was almost like I didn't wanna share it with people because it's like I
Right.
feel like I get, like, frowned upon, like I did something
Right.
bad. But
Right.
I think that just adds to, like, why not a lot of people talk about it too, because it's like
Yes.
there's
Yeah,
it's
well,
like
I think just income, there's just so many feelings around money. Like, it's
mhm.
not, there's like emotional, there's like your social class, like, so I think people are hesitant to, they'll show that they bought this fancy new car or this like amazing house, and we're all just in the background kind of wondering like, wait, how did you do that? Like,
Wait, I know your
wha-
salary. I know what you do for a living. How
yes,
did you do that?
yeah, yes, that's kind of, and we like live in an area that is very like, feels like keeping up with the Joneses very much. So like, I just was like, I'm just gonna spill the tea on Instagram. I'm gonna put it
This
all out there. I don't think we have this amazing income, but I'm showing you like, this is what we're doing with a pretty average income. So like, literally anyone can do it. And I know not everyone's in the same, not everyone has access to time and the jobs and all of the things, but like, despite all of the outside things pushing on you, I still think it's possible that you can do it. Like, no matter what your income is, no matter what your circumstances are, you can find ways to better your situation.
and that was I was gonna ask you what message do you have for people? That's it. That was the message.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people that get trapped in debt are like kind of on like I would say like lower middle class. And
Yeah.
what's nice is like to them like me, my debt was 50,000 or like 50,000. that felt like really hard to do. But I feel like for people that are in like a lot of debt, they have like really high incomes, and they're the ones in like the hundred fifty thousand
Yes.
dollar debt. So
Yes.
those like people at 50,000, I'm like, you may not feel this, but it's actually really easy to clean up. And then really you just need to get a good
Right.
career. And that's like the
Right.
education part is like, where can you make money? What are decent careers? And so like that's why I love these stories because you can show people it's not that hard to clean up. It just takes
No.
discipline.
It does. And it's all, I think my biggest takeaway and what I like recommend to everyone when I talk about this is just it's all in your mindset. So like if you're going to pay off debt and you've laid it out and you know how much you have to do every month, you have to just tell yourself like this is just a season of life. That's like
Bingo.
how I've had to speak to myself. Like even if it's for a couple years, it's still just a season of life. You will get through it. It sucks we're not going on a ton of vacations right now. I see all
Right
the
now.
spring break trips and it's like, oh, I feel all the things. But then I come back like, listen, this is like 2, 3 years and we're starting that too.
I
Like,
know, and that's where I think people get so caught up as they're like, "Well, I'm young and I want to live and
yes,
travel." And I'm like, "But what if you
yes,
just didn't do that for like 2 years or like
right.
3 years?" I'm
Yes.
like, and people just don't want to do it. But a
I
lot of time it's
know.
because they don't
Yes.
know like what the outcome is if they don't, whether it's savings or debt payoff. So that's what I'm
Right,
trying to
right.
nail into people's heads is like, just do it.
Yes. Yes, and having a clear goal and path is also crucial to do this. Cause like I had the dream. I'm like, I see the backyard and the
The
kids
dog.
running, like
Yeah.
I see it, but like where's the steps? Like I needed to make the steps to make that a reality, and it feels so good even in the middle of the journey. I'm right dead in the middle of it, but like I still feel so much more hope than I ever have that like, oh wait, I think it can happen. Like I think I can do what I dreamed of. And it's just following the steps, and it's really boring. I think sometimes debt payoff is
So
like you
boring. It's
want
so
you
boring.
want something
Yes.
like exciting, but it's like, oh no, it's just like, oh, I'm not gonna buy that shirt today. Like I'm gonna put this extra money onto the credit card today. And it was
Yep,
a
it's
$50
literally
payment.
just you work a week, you click a couple buttons, there you go. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this final question. I could talk to you all day about this stuff,
I know it's so fun.
because there's not a lot of people in like that do this. So here's my closing question: are you grateful, or is there some sort of gratefulness that you actually went through the process of paying off debt? Because for me, I'm kind of glad I went through that because now I can take those lessons with me for the rest of my life. How do you
Oh,
feel?
oh, 100%. I literally was just thinking about this weekend because I hate being in the middle of something. Like, I love the before and after
Get me
pictures.
to the
I
end.
love,
Yep.
yeah, it is a big lesson for me to be in the uncomfortable middle part of your story. So I feel that deeply. But I had a cool experience this weekend where my husband has like started running. He's going to run a half marathon. So cool. He's never really ran before. It's been inspiring watching him, and so I'm like, I got to keep up. I'm gonna go run. And I've had an injury and I haven't ran in a while. And so it was really hard. But as I was running, I just like had this thought like, man, this was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And it's not necessarily because of like my body, like my legs still hurt. Like it was all my mindset. Like my mind, I was just like, I can do this. Like this is hard, but I can do it. And I
Builds
did it.
armor. Yeah. Like,
Yes. And I like literally directly attest that to our debt payoff journey because every day I'm thinking about it and it's hard. And I literally have to choose, like, oh, we're not going to do this to spend money today, like we're going to find a different solution to this. And I think doing that repeatedly has literally shifted my mindset, so I feel like I can do harder things. Like I can see that, and so I have felt so much gratitude recently, and like gosh, I think that this is necessary. This process has been necessary for me to become a
that's a
better
good.
person. Like, I think even though I hate it, like, I wouldn't I'm growing muscles in my brain that are helping me, that are gonna push me to do more things in my future. I can feel it.
Bingo. No, that's it. And that's what I tell people. I think one of the biggest things too is you learn the value of money. And number two is like the most important part, more important than getting out of debt is avoiding debt. So it's like
Oh,
now
yeah.
going forward, you're like, not doing that again. No, we're not financing that car. Timeshare, that's junk. Not doing that.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. I definitely feel like I have such a more clear vision going forward too, by like just learning and getting that knowledge and education and then seeing how my own life and finances are playing out. I feel so much more confident going forward than I ever have, because I'm like, I know how to pay off debt. I know how to, I don't have to be like terrified of credit cards. Like, it's not that I have to, like, I feel like I can use it for its benefits and then not stay in debt, versus like before it was like, I can't have a credit card. I can't do like, there's just so many
exactly.
things that I just was scared and I didn't know. And so I definitely feel going forward that I have a clear head, and it's good to learn more. Like, I feel like you can just keep learning as you do it yourself.
Awesome. Like I said, I could talk to you all day about this
I
stuff, but
know.
I can't. I'm so excited. I like. I know people are going to listen to this that are in your shoes, and they're going to get a lot out of it. I would love to do a recap in like a year, just to see like where
Yes,
you're at in a
we
year, or maybe
should.
16 months, because
Yes.
that's your
Yeah.
end date.
That's a good spot.
But thank you again so much for coming on the show. Anyone
Yes,
that
of
wants to follow
course.
Kjersty, living life on less on Instagram,
Yep.
and
Come find me.
again, thank you for everyone.